Oh, you like it?
Yeah, man.
Then trying to switch you over to my other microphone. Listen, listen. You hear me?
It's a little deep. It's a little hard. You gotta give me a couple more. Give me a
Testing,
little more
testing. One,
content.
two, three. Testing,
Yeah, there you go.
testing.
Yeah, getting
Are
a
you in
little
there?
closer helped.
All right. Trying to adjust it. It's been on and off.
Okay.
If not, we'll have to go back to the other microphone,
Uh,
man.
yeah, I'll keep talking. Just as you keep talking, I'll be able to suss it out. But sounds good
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. How's everything going, man?
Man, what another week.
Hey, yeah. How was
Uh,
how's the how has it been since this the second week? I think last week you were like, dude, I was in it. I was all in the
oh
AI,
man,
the Claude
I'm
code.
so, I'm still so deep. Uh,
Really?
it,
So how deep is it there, man?
it's so tough. So let me think where we left off last week.
I
So
think
I,
you were telling me you were
I
building. So go ahead.
yeah, I'm so pumped, man. I just like it's like an unlock that keeps on giving. Um, I consistently am up till 2 to 4 a.m. at night. Just can't stop. Having trouble going to sleep because I just
Yeah,
have so much. I'm so like jazzed up about it, and
yeah.
like the idea machine is just like on overdrive. So yeah, I don't know. So setting up a VPS um,
Really?
to kind of just add another level of security for me in my
Mm,
mind.
mm.
Um, it's kind of isolated from my computer to something that's
Who are you using? I know Hostinger was one I had looked into. I know you heard of them. What are the ones what's the
yeah.
one you end up using?
So I did the research on it or whatever. I put it in Perplexity and did deep research on it. Just to put in my use case because I all right, that probably backs me up to like what I did last week as well. Was I kind of like I was getting really big on plans and products and different things, and so then I kind of and then I around Thursday started getting rate limited
Oh,
on my
yeah.
pro plan, my Cloud Pro plan, and so I was like, all right, well I can just go upgrade it, or I could figure out how to use my other options that I have. And so then I was like, all right, sweet. So I'll architect and research and design in Perplexity because I already got the um, the subscription there. And I never get limited or anything. Like I can, it's got Claude Sonnet 4.6. I can put thinking mode on. I can put deep research where it's using multi models to get the answer. And I feel very confident in the work that it produces. But what can't it do, right? It can't like action on my behalf in my
Yeah.
computer. Um, and so that's limiting. So I basically started framing it out to like, all right, kind of in an orchestration manner, right? I'll do all the architecture and research in Perplexity and get it draft ready to put into VS Code and have Claude do the work. Um, so that only happened the last week, probably after I was like 75% done and like by like Wednesday, and then I'm like wrapping up some projects or trying to get some projects through. So by Thursday, I was at like 98%, and I was like, all right,
Oh,
how do I
yeah.
do this? So
So you end up paying. I've been paying the 200 just to
yeah,
have unlimited because I knew I hit the limits fairly fast. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't thought about
so
the perplexity the way I've just kind of the 200. I don't hit any limits. I go all in with every project, and
are you
I haven't
using
had any
Opus? Are you using Opus
Sonnet,
Or
Sonnet,
Sonnet? Yeah,
Sonnet 4.6. So that's what I use for most of the builds. But yeah, I once I started hitting the limits because I'm all in with it, man.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
Google has a new skill. So I'm gonna have to actually probably send it to you if you're not aware of it. I know you do your own education, but Google has a new skill, GWS. And long story short, you can integrate this skill If you type it in on Claude, they actually have it on their site, if I'm not mistaken. But you can basically implement this into Claude. It becomes global on your Claude platform, your Claude
Okay.
IDE, or whatever you use. And then from there, now I'm trying to think, what did I have to do? I had to go into my Google Cloud, and I think me and you may have done that one time. I kind of did a lot of that for you, but you'd have to go in your Google Cloud and just make sure your Gmail and all of that is enabled. And yours is, because if it wasn't, N8N wouldn't be allowing you to do certain things. So you can easily just submit this in the Cloud and say update my global skills, and then it will basically ask you a few questions, and then from there you can basically talk in the Cloud, and it will do everything Gmail. I got it to organize my entire backend folders. I said, I need you to go into my folders, organize them for clients, organize them. It went into my folders, organized it. Now it labels my emails for me, labels them. It'll read them. It'll label them based on if they need to be read, if they reference them, if they need to be referenced, if they're alerts. It does pretty much all of that, because once it can integrate within it, I tell it now, hey, I need you to create something that will assist me in making sure that my email is always on read. Like everything has been read. Things are in folders so I can go look at them. Tagged so I can go look at them. So I've gotten it to organize my backend drive. That's the most organized I've had it. And then I also got to start organizing my email. So I'll send you that.
I like that, man.
Yeah. Because then you can just submit it into yours. I'll send you that. I think it's a step-by-step part. And we may have to get on a computer or something where I can put it, but I don't think it's something that you couldn't do. I think it's really simple as you taking it, submitting it into Claude, and then Claude will do its thing in the back end, and then it'll be pretty much connected into your IDE. But yeah, that'll allow you to kind of, it basically allowed me to turn my Claude into more of a detailed personal assistant. Like it's more of that. And then it went into my Google Sheet, made a folder specifically for what I call daily tasks, daily tracker. So I told it, I need you to take everything that I do, create it on an Excel, have tabs, what needs to be due, priority based on date, based on this. This is my team members. These are people on my team. And then this is how many hours I want to spend on this. I need you to also break that off. And it created that, man. It created that. I think that was something that I believe other people would use. But again, I'm starting to realize now, all the stuff I've been learning about AI, that to set businesses up with agentic workflows is the next level. What you're utilizing is agentic workflows. N8N is traditional workflows. So that's why once I started realizing I have another company, I actually set them up with an agentic workflow for their company, pretty much similar to yours. And now they're utilizing it more. But the key of where I come into place is I'm always learning it. So I can keep integrating with these companies, assisting them to make theirs more even, smarter. So you guys don't have to take a lot of time to, actually look up all that stuff. You can, and I feel like you are one of those individuals who do. So I really admire that. But at the same time, talking with me, I'm going to keep giving, hey man, they doing this now. So I'm going to get that sent to you. And then it's another thing that I want to get sent to you that allows you to utilize Python. And so if that's the case, you won't have to really worry about those N8N backends.
I said that after our last conversation. I was like, oh man, he's coding it in Python. That's brilliant. And then I even took it a little further where I asked Perplexity, hey man, should I be using Python? I scripted a couple of them because also I was getting large markdown files in my environment. And then it's like, I think that was part of why I got rate limited, because it was constantly grabbing like giant context. And I think that was taking up a bunch of the tokens. So
skill builder, That's a skill. Have you heard of the skill creator skill?
I think I have.
Claude has created, they created a Claude creator skill. You can implement that into your Claude code. And then anytime you are finding yourself, anytime you find yourself repeating yourself, it's doing extra things. You can say, hey, I need you to remember that process now. Create a skill for that process, and it will create that so it doesn't use all those extra tokens.
Yeah. Okay. And I think I need to. So, anyways, I went on like a build-in spree, and I was using a bunch of Markdown files, and I think it ended up creating duplicates as well of certain things, which I need to like go back and clean up, have it clean up, and then I need to put an anti-duplication kind of like rule or law kind of in there in the skill. So like for the .env, I refactored .env and .env like example, so that I didn't have like, for I think if client data gets in there for examples or anything like that, I don't want that in the source in any way.
Are you pushing it to GitHub?
No, I haven't pushed anything to GitHub yet. It's all still local, so there was no exposure risk, but it was just like I just feel like it was getting duplicative as I try to build out. So I think there's a couple things learned. I think figuring out the right architecture, figuring out token burn, figuring out how to deploy on a front end via Vercel. That's kind of the chosen path I've decided. Just like you said, man. Yeah, just like you said. Yeah. So set up a repo in GitHub, and then I've been pushing to Vercel. I did kind of like my first front end test. Claude's not that good at building the front end though. I've heard of better.
Yeah, no, it's not. It gives you the basic, but I've seen Google Gemini is what I've been hearing is the.
I think that's what my brother said.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played around with it too much because I'm more of the back end techie person, and I want to just get all of that more centralized. Where I keep worrying about the front end. But no, me and you are on the same page with the front end builds. I've been trying to find. That's why I've been working with that marketing agency, because I want them to start feeling comfortable with these products too. Because I believe that AI will help marketing agencies go to the next level as well. But more importantly, I would love for this person to also build my front ends. So it was like, if you can utilize these, you can build them, and I don't have to. It's using a team, just kind of giving people their parts in this, man. And if they can see the vision and create it, that's ultimately what I want. But my creativity comes in the back end. Let somebody who has the creative arts do the front end, and I just assist them with the tools that can enhance potentially. So, no, we're on the same with that. You said something I was trying to, I forgot what it was, because it was like, oh, I'm going to let him finish, but I couldn't remember what you said. But yeah, Claude doesn't do a good job at front end builds, man. So
yeah, it's a good tool, but I think like that's something that I'm also figuring out last week. And this is so distracted from tax season. I know. But it's I'm
glad I went through it a couple months ago.
I feel like it's just like a race to like. I was talking about it with my brother. My brother's pretty deep into it too. He was like, it's funny. You think you're like racing for this, like chasing against everybody else. Everybody's going for it, and then you got to take a step back and realize that most people are just using AI as like enhanced Google search. And so the fact that you even know how to like ask AI how to do something, and then ask it for what you're missing, and to ask you the questions of what you could be missing, and to fill in the additional context, that alone is just like already so much better use of AI, let alone talking about coding and creating your own apps and things of that sort. But I watched a bunch of Bridge Mind.
You like it. You like it.
He got me doing push-ups again.
Hey, it's no promo to him, but shout out to Bridge Mind. I love fans.
Yeah. I thought that was cool.
I told you I liked his product idea. I thought that was brilliant. So one thing I noticed about his product concept was he saw something similar to like how we talk. There's a issue for, I won't say issue, but there's a way to make something more efficient. And so like, there's Whisper out there. I have Whisper on my computer. And then
Yeah.
there is VS Code. And then there's this. And he basically just took all these products and put them in there for people like us to have a place. And that's what I'm taking from it thus far. And I didn't start off at the beginning with them either. So I kind of caught on to it
Yeah.
like, probably like a couple months ago. And I was like, oh, okay. But I like that idea. And it made me think about, I was already thinking about this anyway. So I started building the operating system. And it made me think about what we, like how we could have individual products and things like that, that individual, like what accountants or business owners or those individuals can utilize a set product. And that's what I've been thinking for the longest when I've been building this is how do you build that? And you mentioned it again when we earlier on in our conversation when we first started talking about having individualized products. And I didn't think about that too much. I was putting a lot into one product. And lately I've been, again, the being able to split and then having a bundle concept and seeing that as the competitors out there. And that's how a lot of them are kind of having things, or they just have it fully centralized and just charging the bundle price already. That's what I'm starting to kind of realize too with this product. So again, I just want to put together, I don't really care about the product too much like that. I care about assisting people. So I want to have a place, a project, a venture capital, whatever, a venture to partnership or whatever it may be with a group of people that we can like focus on providing the skills that you just elaborated on. Like a lot of people don't even realize all of what can happen with it. And so I want to be able to do that more at this point. And that's where the whole adept data automation came into place. Yeah, we have a product, but yeah, we also have the brain, the knowledge to provide you with a simple email straightforward to your team or provide you with your own essentially personal assistant that can keep upgrading with skills and things like that over time. But we don't want to do that. Okay, great. We'll manage it for you. We'll build it. We'll manage it. So that's not everybody is a Tim. I will say that. And that is a whole business owner and loves to do those things. A lot of people want to focus on their career. And so I want to have that like, oh yeah, we can implement these AI, but it's one of those things where you don't know what you don't know. I'm learning with businesses. They only know the simple chat system. And I'm trying to really implement that, the overall what AI can do to people. So for people. So yeah, man, I think the more you've been using it, the more I have conversations with that makes sense outside of me just talking to somebody and they're like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of catch up, for sure. A little bit, a lot of it. It's also, man, it's deep. There's the open source community in AI is crazy. OpenClaw came out, and then everybody like went and forked it and figured it out and identified where its positives and its negatives are and how to use it in a different way.
The OpenClaw, you saw that? Yeah.
And so there's interesting things to figure out there. And what's been like occupying my mind is, so BridgeMind, right? I think that shout out, right? I agree. I think one of the things that he highlights really well is just focus on a product. Like I was already focused on like what is fixing for me? Like what do I need fixed? What's something usable for me? And then once you develop something like that, then maybe it's useful for everybody else because other people generally have your same problems that if you're identifying the kind of most impactful problem in your life.
Yeah.
And so then that's useful, and then you can figure out how to like white label and ship it. That's a cool concept, but I found myself getting really kind of deep into this idea of the Canopy Assistant.
Yeah, I remember. That's why I was going to remember you ended off with last time.
So I was like, I think I had like 2 or 3 things that like I really felt were important and I wanted to work on. And Canopy Assistant was one of them. and it was that soaked up a ton of my tokens last week and my time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got it pretty far, but it's a matter of, is that gonna, can you ship that? Can you make money off of that? That would be nice. I mean, not just make yourself
I think
save yourself in your
if
time,
you
but
utilize Python, that's what I've realized.
yeah. Oh, you're frozen up.
You there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
got you. Yeah, I don't know what happened. But what I was saying is if you utilize Python, from what I've learned, you pretty much own the code. It stays on your local. You then take that code. That's what you said. Okay, I'm glad we said that. Make sure that when you do push to Git and once you've tested it, that it actually isn't holding any like of your credentials. Your keys sometimes could be embedded into workflows, and that's something that I didn't realize that was occurring. So yeah, but with Python, Python allows you to essentially transition that code to GitHub. Once that code is in GitHub, it's yours. The code is all yours. You pretty much do what you want with it. You can keep pulling it back and forth from your IDE. And so I use GitHub as the housing place where it allows you to do that. So whenever I come up with these workflows and things like that, I talk to it, my Claude, with natural language to the point where I'm telling it that I want this productized. So when you're putting this together, put it together in a productized way. I want to be a client utilizing it in a productized way. So that's another way that I would say allows you to, then it's going to tell you what it needs to do in order to productize it. You transition it over to GitHub, and then again allow Vercel to sync to it, and you can pretty much charge in that depending on if you're doing it as a web app, or you can charge for somebody to outright buy it from you, which then they just pay you bands, maybe like $10,000 for the whole entire code and stuff. But yeah, that's the kind of two ways I've kind of looked at it thus far.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you still have to implement it though. You still have to like set it in place, implement it for them. So that's already set up. Well, so you have to think about that.
And that's where I was like, okay, so once I get this in place, I think it'd be good and useful. And but there's a lot of like it's a private API, right? I mean, it is highly custom. Like, let alone like, don't tell Canopy, right? I don't know if I'm allowed to be doing that technically, or if it's a breach of like the terms and conditions kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't think so. But
you essentially, it's like me creating a workflow connected to QuickBooks, and then now I have. Okay.
I would hope so.
I think
I would hope so, man.
Yeah.
They have Zapier. They have Zapier hooks, but it's the Zapier hooks are so limited. It's like, okay, you can take a client name. You might be able to set up a client via the Zapier integrations. But I think they want to intentionally keep it really tight and locked down and no API because they're trying to sell all their AI generation within the app, within the place, like checklist AI checklist creator, engagement, prefill the questionnaire generator. What else? File renaming AI, right? Like, and each one of these is like, I swear they got a funding earlier, somewhere around like Q4 20, or maybe it was second half of 25, and they're like, yeah, we got $70 million. We can't wait to develop. And I'm like, and now as I see this stuff and the way that they're rolling out, I'm like, man, the PE really got you. Like, they're going from an all-in model to like, okay, now you got to buy engagements. Now you got to buy questionnaires. There's a usage cost for this. They are squeezing it for the juice, and which is good for them. But I don't know, man. As I work on this, and I don't know. Check out Paperclip if you haven't heard of it. Look, oh my gosh. So I was going on this. I told you about this whole like orchestration thing. I was trying to figure out. I've opened up like a bunch of VS Code things going on, a bunch of projects, and I'm kind of running like how BridgeMine's doing. He's got BridgeMine and he's doing his workflows, and he's got Bridge Builder or whatever. And so he's working on one for front end, one for back end, one for Vue Coder, one for BridgeMine. Like he's just got a bunch of projects going on. And so then the models, the agents can't necessarily talk to each other. That seems to be, as I was working last week, I was like, this is where humans still make sense, right? Putting the orchestration together. Which model is the best? Token burn rate. Does it make sense? Setting multiple agents at one task, right? And then triage of like which one should go first, or keep them all going, but they can't talk to each other. So you need to be maestro, right? Orchestrating the symphony.
Claude came out
Paperclip.
They came out with a new skill to fix that. And we'll talk about it. I'll send you a video on that actually.
Yeah. So Paperclip, I could share with you, but maybe you could do it. Paperclip.ing.
All right, I got you.
It's the idea of zero human company.
Okay, I'm finished here.
All agentic company.
I'm trying to get you over on my computer on the side. This
open source, zero human companies.
So what exactly is this?
Yeah, scroll down about halfway. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
All right, this is something I'd use. All right.
This is invaluable right here.
Okay, bring your own bot. Your Claude bot, cursor, codex, organized under one structure point. Ooh.
So you're the board of directors. You set the mission. I want to earn 30K in 6 months.
Yeah.
That's the CEO's mission. He hires the CMO. He hires the CTO. He hires the COO. And then they set up their teams of agents.
Wow. Hold on.
Yeah. So this over the weekend, like, was like brain explosion. That's what I'm setting the VPS up for. Because it's kind of like an OpenClaw, right? I mean, you're giving it access to do everything. So I don't want that running on my machine for just security boundaries. So and then, yeah. So, I mean, and it's
okay. No runaway call.
Yeah, and it's iterating too. It's kind of like I want to say a bit like CI/CD. So like it is continuously figuring out if your goal is to hit 30K by a certain milestone by a certain time, the CEO is working with the CTO to get the front end, the launch done. And then what needs to happen once you have launch? Well, it needs to start marketing in LinkedIn. It needs to, or your different channels. It needs to start doing that. You can set budgets. If you set it up with your API access, you can set budgets on each different department.
Wow.
Or you could set it up with your subscription. So yeah, dude, that's the statement right there. You're the board. The more.
Ooh, this is actually wow.
Yes.
Yo, this is wow.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah,
Okay,
buddy.
you know, about the next conversation, I'm going to know this like the back of my hand, right?
Oh yeah, same here. I'm only a day ahead
Wow.
of you.
You are. Wow, I've never heard of
Uh,
this, man. So,
it's like a
one
month
thing
old,
is, so it is, man, this is like brilliant
maybe.
for like people who are literally, I mean, it's brilliant for all people, but if you are truly like caring about the build of your company internally, and
So listen,
wow,
this is where I went with this, right? Like, I'm like, all right, so now I got to start thinking of. Now I'm thinking of, okay, what are my top 3 builds that I spent time on and spent money on? I'm kind of thinking a platform because I like the idea of a platform,
what do you mean a platform?
but that's long term. So like,
What do you mean? Like you build a platform?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like see we all
So
I like that.
yeah, so it helps me do all the service based business of a CPA firm, right? So
Hmm.
just do it better, do it maybe cheaper, yeah, cheaper on the back end, so that I could lower costs on the front end. Maybe for some clients that's like I get certain clients that I have to turn away, but I know I can
Hmm.
help them. Um, and
Yeah,
it kind of stinks to have to turn them away because cost is a factor, right? I mean, I'm only going to go so low because that's what my time is worth, and I have to
yeah,
be part of these things. So if I could avoid being part of everything, but also have my stamp on how things turn out, and they don't end up
yeah.
with like, there's a lot of bad accounting, at least where I am, that I've seen
Oh,
in
it's everywhere,
in the
man.
same business. So if I can make sure to put guardrails and give someone a product that actually performs to my expectation, and I'm just not involved because I've set it up to be agentic.
This is
Um,
crazy.
so that's one thing, right? That's one idea, the
Mm.
platform. The other is standalone products that are like one-off.
Yeah,
Like, what kind of standalone products could you develop
yeah,
um, that solve key problems?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No,
and this thing can basically get you from start to finish without paying attention as much. You're answering the questions that the board of directors would have to answer. Um, what kind of budgets? What kind of timeline? Who's the target market? Is it niche?
we
Is it
should.
broad?
We have to start building, man. Like together. I think we're at a point where we have to like really figure these type of things out because I will say with us having the right program in place, then it allows us to execute. I'm always thinking about execution. How do we get things done, even in our most busiest times? So I think having multiple minds, again, that's why I came talking to you about a lot of different things. But the more you've learned into it because you've been engaged, I'm like, man, we could build all this stuff. We could literally start the process, kind of really talk about a plan, and then come up with an effective product plan. Like I've been thinking about products, but we can come up with a whole nother different name, a whole nother different brand. I don't care. It don't even have to be a debate automation. I did that
You know
because
what?
that's me. But I'm really thinking like,
No,
man, it's all about go ahead. My fault.
no. I just like I get going in my own head, so I don't want to forget it. Um, this is another thing I was thinking about today. I was like, all right, so with this idea, do you even create a platform, or is this like multi-entity? So you're dispersing the liability, right? So that if ever there's, God forbid, right, that's not what you're building it to create errors for anybody, but God forbid
Mhm.
there's an error that causes liability, it's limited to that one tool in that one LLC,
Mhm.
and so you get a tighter. There's also this tax idea, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so if like we're not related, right? So but if I own an ownership stake in one of your companies
Mhm.
in a SIDRA, in a self-directed IRA,
Yeah, yeah.
at a low valuation,
You know some stuff, man.
right?
Yeah.
And it's not some kind of quid pro quo agreement. There's actually legitimacy to it.
Yeah.
And I don't run anything in your operation. I don't have any impact. It's a cool way to fund a SIDRA and grow, accumulate wealth.
Yeah. So what would you think of what? Because I'm curious on your position. You can build, and I think us getting the builds in. I'm trying to take it. Do you actually see yourself actually building, or more of like part of the full implementation schema, and maybe building occasionally? How do you ever see yourself in an overall project like that could last for years? Because truth be told, whatever you want, I don't care. You can have it. You know what I mean? I'm very smart to educate myself on what I need, but I want us to be able to provide to people. I care to provide to people. And so I think about, if somebody say, well, I want this in order to do it, fine, we'll figure it out if it's actually doable or not. I know numbers to do it, or we can figure out however it needs to go as far as legal wise. But if you have the skills to provide to mankind that the same as I want to, then I think it really, we're going to get our abundance in general. So I think about it like that too. Yeah.
I like no, I mean what I am most passionate about is idea creation, like that board seat right there, just like asking the questions. There's a coach I follow, and he's like, a good CFO isn't running dashboards, and it's not it's not an AI automation that you could do. It's taking in the inputs and asking the right questions and steering the ship in the different financial way, right? Like my lens is financial. Like everything I see in life is financial, right? I break it down to every good thing that's happening in the world is a motivation of finance, and every bad thing in the world is a motivation of finance. So
I don't feel bad about it at all now that seems like my brain too. It's everybody. It doesn't work with everybody.
Yeah. So I mean, builds are fun.
Yeah.
To the point of like most of this stuff is fun until you figure it all out, and then it becomes routine, and then it's annoying. Right?
Yeah, I get it. Now I love the building part. So okay, cool. So that actually could work out, because it helps us to be able to. Because I love to build, and I love to find the people that actually want to do it. I believe that there are somebody right now that's out there who, and I say this all the time, they're out there, they have these great ideas, they're talking like you and I, and they may not feel as comfortable to get on the screen and market themselves to this, or they may have talked to their current bosses and like, hey, we can use this, but due to, the nervousness of the companies, they're not transitioning. Those are the people I want to work with, because they have the ideas. Those are the people that, whenever I'm talking on social media, those are the ones I want to find, because I'll get in front of the camera. I will get in front of it for us. I'll make sure you're taken care of, because at the end of the day, you have the passion. You have the same passion I have to want to provide this, to want people to be educated on these things. And so that's ultimately the marketing tactic I'm going to. Not saying that it's a bad thing. I want to say like, oh, I'm throwing marketing to get those. No, it's truly like, those are my individuals that I know for a fact. That's who I am. I had that. I provided this to larger companies, and they were nervous. And I'm like, I got this. Like, we're behind. We can. And I decided to step out there. So I'm like, I know it's a lot more of us out there. I know they are. I know they just they may just be chilling behind the computer and done built a whole system, but they have yet to have maybe the courage or whatever it may be. And I'm not saying calling anybody weak, but again, sometimes you may need a team member to really assist on the next level. And so that's what I'm looking for. Those are the type of team, and it's not easy, man. It's not easy to find people who really want to. Like, I had a guy that I was working with at one point originally, and things like this can start to become overwhelming for people in their normal life. Like, generally, you'd see I start to take control and mentally at times, because it's so exciting how quickly you can get a problem solved. Our job is problem solving, and you're helping us. What? But if you're not problem solvers like us, who have had to be under the pressure, that pressure does get to a person where it's like they can see the dream, they can see the goal, but they're right. It's a lot. I got to build there. It does get boring for people. It does, and so I'm just like, okay. So it's not the easiest finding people who want to build, but it's I don't mind building. Is what I'm saying. But it's hundreds and thousands of them out there, clearly, as we see. So
I mean, I absolutely love building, but I think what do I love better?
Yeah.
Seeing it evolve exactly as I was expecting. The idea of paperclip, it's like, what?
Well, that's game changer.
That's
game changer.
So I mean, I love paper. I love like thinking of like, okay, so like we've tackled this idea, but now we can take it a little broader too, because we can, right? We have the efficiency to code in a quick manner, right? So like the idea of separating into multi-entity, it's like something you do when you've like reached certain like revenue goals. You don't think about that stuff early on because it's a waste of time. But if you could set up a company, if you could set things up with, like there are different chats that you can get into that are with different models where they already have predefined. I did with Perplexity. They have a deep research VC thinker, and so it'll forecast out what your revenue is based on your idea. It'll kind of justify your idea. It'll do things like that. And so I popped in a couple of my thoughts, and it's like, oh yeah, you could get to conservative, conservative, mid, and aggressive. This is what your revenues could look like based on this model. It is a good model. It's a good idea. You should go for it. And do you want to take this to the next level? It'll prompt you for the next question. So you already have like this whole, like, if you know the right questions, you could take an idea from a simple concept, like like we all thought we were inventors and then you never productize it, and then you see it as seen on TV, and you're like, man, I thought of that so long ago. We all had that. It's a long running joke, right? But like with this stuff, you can actually get that concept, blow it up a little more, blow it up a little more, blow it up, and you have all the experts available. You just need to know who to tap on the shoulder. And then go.
So let me ask you a question. So I've built products for the average business owner who wants to focus on their business. So that was the overall product build. Now, the individual things, like I have a lot of individual things for myself. I have a social media posting project for other individuals I've been able to set in place for them. But I built certain projects for certain reason. I can't even remember exactly. Sorry, I got a message from sorry, man.
You're good.
So yeah, no, like so. All right, I just lost train of my thought after that message. Sorry.
Yeah, you had programmed certain things for personal reasons, certain things for small business owners to enable them to focus on their businesses.
Yeah. So what is your position on before I finish that part, I guess the position on what do you think is the ideal product for a specific niche? Like, I think you talk about dentistry. What is the ideal product for that? What's the ideal product for an accounting firm? Again, I build products for efficiency. See the difference? So everybody could use an email person or use a CRM, but there's this one product that we'd be like, if every dentist office had this, if every CPA firm had this, that's the products I want to start really focusing. And I've been thinking more of. Now I know exactly efficiency. Like I can speed up process. We can think about that all day. That's what AI is there for. But the next level is knowing what that one product is, what will help them every single day that helps them become the most efficient. That's what I've been thinking on. And so I just wanted to hear your take on that as well. And what do you think could be? What does that product look like? What is it I guess we can start with dentistry if you want to. What is that ideally? based off your understanding with them. I don't know that industry 100% like you do.
So if I'm thinking of like with any product, right? Like, what is the problem that most dentist office? What is the problem that most accounting firms? What is the problem that most gym owners, construction, whatever the industry is? What are the problem in the back office that I can help with, right? I can help with accounting, finance, with technology. Now we're talking about how do we. So what I mean with dentists, right? They're always on the feet, so they can't be behind a computer necessarily, answering emails, talking to their accountant, anything like that. So scheduling and being there on their terms is important. So how do you do that? You do that with like Loom videos. You do that with so you get the explanations to them in a way that they can consume when they're ready, and then you make traditionally you make time slots available outside of business hours. But like, do you have to do that still? Solving for that problem. The next problem is like,
that's a tough one too.
As silly as it sounds, right? Commingling personal and business still happens like rampantly, right? Like commingling your personal and your business accounts and funds. And
yeah. That's still big with the
all that stuff. It's every business owner. When I get on with a tax attorney and we have one of these podcasts, that's where we always funnel to, is like, just get it set up, get policies, get governance in place, and do it right every time. And so like there are systems to help you do these things, right? So for example, Ramp is a great system for accounts payable. It has texting integration. It texts you, okay, take a picture of the receipt. It asks you questions, reply 1, 2, or 3 with options of what it is to define it as a transaction. So it's SMS integrated. It kind of comes to you, like, rather than doing things. It has automations. You can put the expense policy in the back end so that when your employee submits a receipt, if it gets rejected, it's the automation. It's not your accounts payable clerk being a.
I've seen this. I never knew what it was. Okay.
Right. So Ramp is pretty cool. So like, depends on where you are in the dentist stack. I mean, I would say the 1 to 10 million could benefit as they scale, right? As they're trying to grow their practice and their offices, right? Whether it's at the lower end, a single dentist office with like contracting dentists, a few hygienists. It's how do you manage them? Do you give them spend permissions? And with Ramp, you can authorize issuance of cards, and then they can spend, and they follow the expense management policies that are built into Ramp. So if they're only supposed to go spend at Staples, that's all they're approved for, kind of thing. Like, those are things that you can do and then with AI and platforms, it's like, okay, how do I connect a Ramp to like a Digits or a QBO, and all of these apps are all dispersed, right, in all their different places, right? And some of them talk to each other, some of them, and then in the dental industry, you have your ops platforms, which is like Dentrix or Open Dental, and
they're funneling API connections, or are those systems more like ERP? ERP is pretty sometimes difficult.
So the Henry Schein version is Dentrix Ascend. And so that one is more cloud-based, and so it's going to have better hooking. The Dentrix Classic is going to be server-based in the office, and so it's a little harder to wire into, right? So, what is the platform end up doing in the long term? The platform ends up being a middleware where it can book things and act as like any true middleware, flatten, normalize that data, and then give you better insights. So the idea is like you have the CFO dashboards in there, you have tax calendars in there, you have all different kind of ideas of how to utilize that data once it's normalized. And then you can push it to its formal places, its resting places, right? Whether that's QBO, if your client wants to be in QBO, you could still keep QBO, and you just like normalize the data. You do all your journal entry automated in the middleware and push them to QBO, so that you don't even need to do the manipulations and the screen manipulations, which are currently, I mean, that's how the AIs are working. I think you avoid all that, right? And then it comes to a question of, at some point, is QBO needed? Or have you now created? Have you now created a proprietary version of a ledger?
Oh man! Since you brought that, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Digits with accounting today. They actually they published my my article, and now they want to get on a call with me tomorrow to talk about how artificial intelligence and accounting firms, not Digits, but Accounting Today wants to. I'm saying this all because I'm curious. Do you have any time tomorrow at 11 o'clock, like 11 Eastern time? Because I could easily send them an email and say I'd love for you to join it, because they want to talk with me. But I'd love if you had the opportunity as well to converse, because it really deals with deeper in your field too. I want to read. So this is what they said. They said, basically, we're looking at how the game has changed for tax practitioners when it comes to avoiding automated enforcements at the IRS. For a while now, IRS algorithms have been looking at returns and flagging items for human review, and even just automatically flagging something for audit. Practitioners have long been cognizant of the need to do their best not to trigger IRS automated enforcements and struggle there, and structure their returns with this in mind. Now the IRS, like many organizations, is experimenting with AI. The story we're working on looks at what practitioners should be doing right now to avoid attention of IRS bots. The sort of practical advice CPAs can bring with them back to their own office. If he could help out, we would need about 30 minutes either this week or next week, Zoom meeting, Teams. I could also send questions in advance so he could be prepared. So they sent me, and then one of the Zoom reps got in touch with me, and they was like, oh, they want to write this. They want to bring you, talk to you about this type of stuff. So I told them, yeah. They emailed me today and said, some guy named Chris asked me, was Wednesday at 11. So Wednesday, not Tuesday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Wednesday at 11 that's what he asked me. Did that work for about 30 minutes? So I can email them back if you're interested, if you're open, and I'd say, because I mean, they just know you. I can say, oh yeah, by the way, Tim is a guy. He's also with Digits, and then I'd love if he could join me. He's actually a CPA. He deals with AI as well, so I'd love if he joined me on this video chat, and you guys could ask him questions as well. So if there's something you're open to, I don't mind. I would love if you join me.
I mean, I'm with that.
Okay, cool. I'll send them an email, and then see, they haven't sent me any of the details yet for the meeting. He just emailed me today about 4 hours ago, and then said, are you available Wednesday, say 11 a.m. for 30 minutes? And I told him, yeah, that works perfect for me. So, and then that was pretty much it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Looking forward to our talk. So yeah, I'll send them an email and say, hey, kind of add you in there. And I'm pretty sure they love that, honestly, because it's kind of like right up the alley we're talking about.
Yeah, I like the Digits team. That's where we met. So they have a good head. They're shipping. They put out that checklist thing. New feature in there, which I haven't. I'm excited to be playing with it. Been signing up clients into Digits.
Yeah. I pretty much transitioned my whole firm, all of my stuff. I was doing all of my bookkeeping. I'm not doing that anymore. So I am going to personally use Digits and, consistently on mine. And I still have QuickBooks because I have QuickBooks Accountant. So it allows me I get that free anyways. But the key is transitioning a lot. It's not a lot of large companies that will utilize, in my opinion, yet. It's
Right.
just transitioning more. I think you'll still see more of QuickBooks, but I do see, because it has been integrating. They have an app now. They just recently put an
Who
app out
digits?
now. Yeah, they just introduced it, and so now you can get on them and see it on that one. I think that's amazing. So I'm like, you're doing this. So those transitions, I can start to see it, but it doesn't have contractors yet. It doesn't have employees. It doesn't have tax things yet that you can do in these other systems. So until it does that, the larger companies that I'm working with that are using like QuickBooks and they have us, I'm like, we can use digits. It's like they're not fully enticed about everything because they still feel as though they get from the package of what they got from Sage or QuickBooks or something like that is
Well, and
more
there's
value.
and there's still use cases like in real estate. The classes in QuickBooks, they affect at transaction level, and they don't affect at the balance sheet level. So it leaves real estate investors and holding companies with a big problem when they hold multiple, and they need to be showing the balance sheet for each company at class level, and it creates problems. And so that's where I think of the platform again. That middleware is one of the important things. Like that's the cool thing about AI right now. It speeds up the programming cycle like tremendously, and it puts the power of solutioning into so many more hands. Is everybody going to be a good programmer and going to ship good products? No. I happen to know a lot about the dev cycle because I worked in a in a big Fortune 150 company doing accounting for the technology group. So
Yeah.
I know all about project management in technology, and so I basically take that to how I design my GitHub repo, and how I'm looking at like staging my developments. Now the idea of paperclip, like how to segment projects. So I mean that is a huge part, like what the digits mission that they were talking about. That is a huge part of like what I'm interested in developing as well. Tax resolution done better, case management, IRS account monitoring, right? So like getting to so the IRS generally will publish their wage and income transcripts usually in May, right? They've had limited release of their transcripts of individuals' transcripts pre-April 15th this year. But it's still not everything submitted because you're gonna get vendors and companies that publish late or submit 1099s late. They may get penalized or whatever, but it's still late and it's still a submission. So the idea of IRS account monitoring is we're gonna monitor your account so that we avoid any notices. We catch errors before they become notices, and we issue corrections, right? And so I think that has always been a painful thing for me to offer that service because it's so manual. Even with like the good systems, there's some good software, tax help software. Canopy has some transcripting you can get into your system, but it still takes manual review. So if I could pull in that stuff into a secure environment, have some automations that are only highlighting and raising the flag when it's important to look at, right? That's important, right? That's the same thing with this whole paperclip idea. Like, take care of all of it, do all the jobs, and then surface to me when you need me.
This is what Claude created with. I'm gonna send you a video Claude did. They've created something in the back end. I think once you see it, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, they're trying to compete with it. They've made it where It's more better if you do it in your terminal, but you can also do it in Claude, and you basically just put into a skill or some type of script. And then from there, it actually creates, you tell it, I want you to create this type of agent, this type of agent, this type of agent. And then I want this agent to monitor them. And then they all pull from the same like source so they can actually talk to each other to finish out things. Claude has done that. And I'm going to send you a video of a guy explaining that and showing it basically on the screen in the most user-friendly way. And yeah, I think that'll. But because I saw that recently this week, and then when you showed me that, I'm like, okay, I'm seeing where people are going, where these companies are going with this. I'm definitely going to test this one out because this systems like Paperclip clearly means that they built it specifically for that. You know what I mean? I like when systems are built for that because they're only going to focus on that. Claude is not going to focus 100% on everything that they build because they have to build so many things. So it's like overall they're focused on the overall product. I want to show you something though really quickly on my screen because man, I want to show you what this lead and like we're gonna oh yeah, I forgot no.
I want to say I think it was Steve something. He's a smart AI guy. He was part of Steve Yagi.
Oh yeah,
Steve Yagi talks all about orchestration, and I think he talked about like something that he was working on that was like Gaslamp or something like that, where he tried to like just essentially solve orchestration. I think it's like it is one of the biggest things because it's like once you go down the rabbit hole of okay, I can ask a bunch of questions and I could be working with this agent, this agent, this agent, this agent. Then like figuring out how to like not have to do that is the next step, right? So, all right, show me.
No, I'm listening to you, man.
No, I think it's super cool to be able to do that. I think it. Again, it's something that I think it could reward you in abundance if you use it effectively. But also in my same idea, as I was like, yeah, if I could do all this agentic stuff to help small business owners do better and get better accounting at a lower cost, I'm like, man, I just took like a swath of jobs off the table. And I reflected on that and I was like, oh, that's what the like massive layoffs at Amazon, at all these different companies, that's what they were talking about. There it is.
I think Oracle just had a 30,000 people layoff. They sent an email to 30,000 people at 6 a.m. in the morning announcing a layoff to everyone. So, and it was due to AI integration and things. So I believe I've been a high believer in saying AI won't take people's jobs. Those who learn AI will take people's jobs. And so I'm still a firm believer in that. And I know those 30,000 people, I would hate that. And I'm also a firm believer in saying, do not put all of your cookies into one job. I'm just a firm believer in that. I've worked with boards, CFOs, CEOs. I've seen when they come in, when the CEO comes back from the board and he's angry, and then I've seen him talk, okay, we're going to downsize this department. And those things happen. And so I've always been an advocate of telling people, invest. Do not spend all of your money just because, don't put all of them to one jar, one company. And then now that AI is evolving, for sure, now I wouldn't even do that. So this is what I wanted to show you, man. It looks very basic. Clearly, this is a Claude type of build. But yeah, man. So right now, I've been really building on this, and this will be an internal thing. So I never really had much of a front end towards it until probably like recently this year. So now it's basically a system that I'll be running. Now I kind of showed you a little bit of it last week, but I'll be running this for people. And so this is what I'll see on my end. I'll be able to see my daily dashboard of what's going out. More importantly, I'll be able to see my clients. From there, I can click into a client. I can add them up here. Once I click in there, I can actually add their emails here. And this is how we do the warm lead up and everything. I get an overview. I can do it. I'll see their leads here. All of their leads will come here. All the leads will go here in this tab at once, but this client's individual leads come here. The campaign I've set in place, and then it's the profile that pulls the information that allows me to basically it to be nourished lead. Another thing too, I have an automation. So basically what this does, it configures it so all I have to do is just come look at it. So once I set this as automated, every day it'll start at 8 a.m. and it'll do scraping and do the leads and things like that. And at the end of 6 p.m. it'll send me a full analysis. So I've been testing it right now. It's doing certain things. I'll say it's about 75% working with the new platforms because I've been transitioning from like N8N to Python so it can be more code based internally. But yeah, man, it's what it looks like right now, man. This is what it looks like when it'll scrape. I can choose my client. I can choose the industry, search query. We're doing local, regional, and nationwide. We're choosing from Google Map, Yelp, Yellow Page, Google Search. I had to set up all my programmable Google search. I had to go into my cloud. I had to enable a bunch of things in order for me to actually do these scrapes. I have Instantly as a backup email system if anything occurs. So I have a integration that it'll instantly start picking up instantly. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. I believe you are, but yeah, this is where the campaigns are run at. So I'll be able to select the client, their mailbox, the campaign details, the tone of the emails that I'll be doing. I have a sequence that I do, and I have an actual user guide. So this ain't all in my brain. I have a full user guide because I do have team members, and then this will automatically integrate in AdaOS CRM. And so this allows you to pull everything in, get all the scrape, get the leads, and then once this system will also, it reads the emails. If a client responds, it'll read that. If they actually want to book with you, it'll send you a booking link. And then it also monitors. There's a section now that I've created in the AdaOS platform that has lead engine as a tab. And when you click on that tab, it'll allow you to pretty much see it on your end on all of the leads, the process. So I'd have to, let me see if I can show you what I mean with that.
Yeah, by the way, I gotta just jump in a couple minutes here.
Oh yeah. My fault, man. Yeah, let me just show you really quickly.
You're good.
This one.
Oh, this is what you were talking about last week.
Yeah. So this is the lead engine thing. So everybody, they'll come into it with that. But again, the lead engine let you know what you get: AI personalized, automatic booking, direct communication. All of that kind of pretty much happens. It funnels directly into the system. And then you can message me within your system. So you can message me here, the client's message show up right here. I'm able to communicate with them in there, and it'll go back into this because there'll be a messaging system in here. So yeah, man. And this is analytics. Yeah, man. Just kind of wanted you to see where it's at right now. I will definitely be doing a lot of that, man. Just to show you right.
Well, and I thought of this, like you had talked about this lead engine, and I was like, that's really cool because that's what I was writing an ebook for to try and generate a funnel and try to get your expertise out there, right? And there's so many ways that you could do that and get marketing done, and I think this is one of them. But then I look at what Bridgemind was doing, which is essentially he's just running like long streams where he's just working 4 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours at a time, and he's talking, he's getting snips of like brilliance along the way, and then he's got View Creator, which is chopping it up into 1 minute videos and then spamming it across the internet, and it's a game of numbers. Yeah, he created View Creator. And his idea is, I've got good stuff on Bridgemind in the product. My next goal is putting out marketing. And so essentially his idea is like, you upload your content, it chops it up for you and distributes it and puts it in print in the different socials with the different social rules, like how LinkedIn is going to be absorbed different than Facebook and TikTok, right? So View Creator is meant to be adjusting to the audience. So at $50 a month, he's saying it's a great ROI because he's up to like 2 million views on YouTube kind of thing. But like what he's doing, or in his different ways, right? He's using his metrics, right? But the idea of like just stream for a long time and then clipping it up. I mean, it's essentially what we're doing here. If we were just vibe coding, like on this stream and just chopping it up along the way, then you just take that video and everybody says something brilliant that happens in a minute every now and then.
No, this definitely will give us this is going to give us a lot of clips. It's going to chop it up after this. Once we get off, it's going to have like clips of you saying anything, So I'll send them to you so you can have them. I think you liked one of my recent
another way, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I did that the other day. I just do like productivity sessions where I'll get on live YouTube on here, and I'm just sitting here, but I have like a banner that's coming across here that says like this, So I have like this, or this one. If I'm in it. So I've been in meetings and I'll mute myself and I'll let it go for like 8 hours, and then people got on, they review. I'll just tell them it's a productivity session. If you got some work, join in, ask questions. I'll be here. So I'll go live on. I've done that.
I'm doing that
over the past couple of weeks. Yeah, just do it, man. Just go live and just get people to talk to you, man. For real.
Yeah.
So you can do it with this site. I'll say this one gives you a week trial. See, I'll do this. So I'll be sharing screen, and then because I'm doing taxes or something like that, I'll bring this up so people will know, and I'll say sensitive information, So, but this is the one I generally have. I have that going at the bottom.
Nice.
Yeah. So. Yeah, man.
Yeah. You just got to get up there and let people see you. I mean, that's. I mean, I think the real estate photographer in my business development group, she's like, just post, just get out there. Like, honestly, some of the most successful shares are just people doing their own job. And they just want to see you do their job.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, always a good talk, man.
Good session this week. Yeah.
Always a good one, man.
We'll talk again. We'll talk again next week on Paperclip and what.
Yeah. Oh man, you're gonna hear a lot from me.
How many companies we each got? Oh my god.
Yeah, man. All right, brother, man.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week.
All right, brother.
All right, bye.
All right, Pete. There goes that one. Till next time.